Ms Juicy Babyy onto the show. Hey,
It's Ms Juicy Baby.
Ms Juicy Babyy. What's going on, Ms Juicy?
Nothing much, just ready for the show to get kicked off.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Listen, first of all, I want to congratulate you on everything that you've been doing. You are killing it right now, man. You are so blessed, and it's so amazing just to see how you have flourished in your career, and it's just amazing to watch you. Every time I see you on TV or anywhere for that matter, I'm like, oh my God, there go my woman crush.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
so
I'm
let's
watching and everything. Just trying to keep it interesting out there for everybody.
yeah, see, you got that little Texas accent going on, straight out of Texas. That's what I'm talking about. So let me ask you this: what do Miss Juicy do? What have you been doing during this quarantine time to try to keep yourself from going crazy like some folk?
Well, when you work for yourself, you're always working. So it
Mm.
doesn't matter whether it's quarantine or whatever it is. So I'm constantly working my business, like with my shade line, my Eminence Eyewear by Juicy. Also, men and women shades. I'm also working my products, my t-shirts, everything. Just staying busy and staying the course, and also, Black Lives Movement. So just constantly making people aware of what's going on around us,
Mm-hmm.
and cooking. So I love
Oh,
it. So
what you know how to cook, Miss Juicy? What you been cooking over there?
I cook everything.
Everything. I,
I can cook everything. I'm from the country. I'm
that's what I'm.
straight out of Texas, Corsicana, Texas. So I know how to cook just about everything, but I just don't eat like that anymore. Because
Uh-huh.
being a pescatarian, I barely eat meat, and it's plant-based meat what I eat.
Gotcha. See,
So
I'm from Maryland. The women here can't cook. They think oodles and noodle casserole is a dinner, and I'm like, that is not a dinner. You can't put soy sauce, hot sauce, and Worcestershire inside of oodles and noodles. Talking about that's dinner. That is not how it go. So, us fellas, we appreciate a woman that can burn down. What's your favorite food?
right now, my favorite food is, and I say right now, is asparagus,
Mm,
and I love
mm.
Brussels sprouts. I'm
Ooh,
in love with Brussels sprouts.
asparagus is if it's seasoned, like I love asparagus. I love Brussels sprouts. Especially when it's seasoned just right. Like there's so many meals and so many things that people look at and be like, "Yeah, I'm not eating that. That look nasty." But until you taste it, try it, and get it to how you like it, do not knock it.
I
Try
was
it.
that girl. I was that girl. I couldn't stand Brussels sprouts or asparagus because I didn't know how to cook them at first. And so I always say I didn't like them because I never would taste them. I had tasted somebody else's and it wasn't good. So once I learned how to cook them and perfect them, then I love them.
Love
I
them.
love them.
That's what I'm talking about. So how was it? How is it like being on the Little Women of Atlanta? How has that experience been? Because I know you started off as like you started off on there where you got a lot of time, and then they were just like, hey man, this girl's amazing. We just got to get her on the show. So how was that experience?
Well, the experience was rather nice because the whole reason why I signed up to be on this show is to make people aware.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like a lot of people, if they don't know, then they just draw conclusions. So just to educate people
Mm-hmm.
that we may be small in size, but we have large personalities and we live life just like they do. So
Mm.
there's no difference. Only is that we're small in stature. That's the only difference.
That's the only difference. Just regular people, just like everybody else. But see,
Exactly.
you make it look amazing, and you represent so well, and you've never let anything stop you from pursuing or chasing your dream, and you did it. So, what do you say to somebody out there who is looking at you like, man, what kind of advice can you give somebody who might feel I might not have the look, or I might not have the size, or I might not have this, or with Hollywood, or with today's version of what it's supposed to look like? What do you say to them?
I said, well, for anybody that says that, I said that's mistake number one. Get might not and can't out of your vocabulary.
Come on.
If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. Just make a believer out of them. That's what I do. And so whatever you set your heart and your mind to, you can accomplish. Don't ever let anybody, discourage you. So turn all of the negative things into positive. Turn all of those stumbling blocks into stepping stones so you can achieve any goal that you set your heart and mind to.
That's what I'm talking about. I heard that um you got your license to drive buses because somebody told you you couldn't do it.
That's
Let's,
the only inspiration that I needed for somebody to tell me that I couldn't do it. Let me show you what I can do.
mm. See,
I
I'm just
went and got my CDL and I went on from there.
and went on from there. Did you actually like drive and pick people up though?
For 2 years to be exact.
Really?
And yeah, I have my bachelor's degree in computer information system. I didn't have no mindset to even drive buses until somebody said I couldn't do it. I said, what I have to do? You have to go get your CDL and all of this. So I went through the actual training for the city bus down in Dallas called DART. I
Uh-huh.
went through the actual training and everything. Went got my CDL with flying colors. Came back. Now tell me what I can't do.
Mm. Pow, slap that license. It would be so crazy for me to be waiting on the bus, right? And the bus pull up and I'm waiting on the bus and the door open up and you sitting there and I'm walking on the bus and you talking about, can I have your change, please, Ms Juicy Babyy? That might be the funniest. That might be the funniest. Like that might be the best bus ride ever. So was you like the swagged out bus driver? Like you was singing to the people, or how? Like like how was Miss Juicy's bus?
Well, I wasn't Miss Juicy then. I was just Little Mama. I've never been just, but I was Little Mama then. I wasn't Miss Juicy then. But I've had a lot of people that I will pass, go to the bus stop, and they wouldn't get on the bus.
Really?
No, yeah, it was quite a few people, and I'm like, okay, have a nice day. The next bus would come in about an hour and a half, and I would pull off.
And
But
pull
then
right off.
again, I would have those adorable kids that would come on and say, Mom, they let that kid drive. Can I drive?
Hey, yo, stop. No, bossy. What's funny about kids is they don't choose what they gonna say about who. If they feeling it, they just gonna say it. They don't mean to be disrespectful. They don't mean to be mean. They just gonna say it. Like that's just what kids do. I had a kid say, "Mom, look at Medea," and I'm like, I don't. Like Medea, I don't even look like Medea. And they was dead serious, telling their mom, I think that's Medea behind us. After that, that's when I first realized that I look like a pregnant black woman. So
I'm
that,
done. I'm
yeah.
so done with you.
So what made you get into personality, radio personality, and acting? When was your aha moment for you to say, you know what, I love acting, I love radio, I love being in front of people and bringing them joy.
Well, I'm a woman that's not afraid to talk and open her mouth.
Mm.
So I learned at a very young age growing up in church and do a lot of things in church, whether it was plays or public speaking, everything. So I learned at a very young age. I got into acting over 19 years ago with playwright and, well, the late great Shelley Garrett.
Oh,
That
okay.
was my very first professional acting gig. And so I went on when he saw me and he was like, I'm gonna make you a star. Now I was grown, but he was like, I'm gonna make you a star. And I was like, how you gonna make me a star when I'm already a star? I had never done it professionally, but this is the way I was talking to him, and he was
Uh-huh.
like, because of my confidence. And so, but I went on and ended up doing 6 or 7 stage productions with him, traveling production.
Mm.
And then, as a matter of fact, that's the way I met Rickey Smiley,
Uh-huh.
as far as the radio. And because we was in Dallas, Texas at that time, and he wanted a little person, quote unquote, to come on the show and be a part of his show. So, Sister Sandra contacted me and asked me, did I know who Rickey Smiley was? And I was like, yes. Said, well, he would like to meet you, and you come up to the station. You know where the station is, blah blah blah. So I did, and that first day when I went in, he was jumping up and down like a big kid in a candy store, and I was like, what's wrong with this fool? And she said, are you gonna be ready for that? She said, don't take him serious. I said, child, nothing ain't gonna hurt my feelings. I'm good. So from that first day I met him, he offered me a position on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show. And after that, I have been working with him for 13 years. We moved up here to Atlanta, Georgia, and I followed the show up here as well.
Mhm.
And all the way up until December 2019, I was with the Rickey Smiley Morning Show. And so, I mean, my goal in life is what I love to help people.
Absolutely.
I love to help. I love to entertain. So, if I can bring joy to the next person's heart, whether it's from entertainment or from knowledge or whatever it is, then that's what I want to do.
Hmm.
So I just love it. I really didn't know it was my calling. I think Mr. Garrett saw it in me. I knew I wasn't afraid to talk. I knew I met no strangers. But Mr. Garrett saw me more than I saw me. I didn't
Mm.
know I had that in me. And so the very first play, I'm on the stage with Bernadette Stanis, Thelma from Good Times, Larry Blackman with vets in the game. And this was my first time ever going on there. So for me to get a standing ovation at my first production, I was like, what?
Wow.
I can do this. So I'm going to get paid to make people laugh. Okay, well, let me do this then.
Yeah, let me do
So,
that's the
and
funnest and that's the best feeling in the world to get paid to do something that you just love to do in life, period. Like you can't like you most people can't even imagine because there's a lot of people who doing job and working in places that they just not happy with. You know what I mean? You ever meet somebody that's just not happy with what they doing and you looking at them like, but you done been here for 10 years. You know, and you can always tell when somebody mad at their job because when you ask them how long they been there, they act like they just did a jail bid, and you like, so how long you been here? And they like 4 to 6, and you like, yo, it's you've been here that long. You can't be somewhere angry and expect to get the best results and find your happiness. So I'm so glad you was able to find your happiness in what you do, you know, and sometimes it takes somebody to see stuff in us that we don't see ourselves because by nature, naturally, sometimes we walk around and don't even see what other people see. You know, we might look in the mirror and see something different. We might feel something different in our heart, but it's something that we have inside of us that plants a seed in somebody else. And who are we?
exactly.
Who are we to say that's not us? If the world sees it, then maybe you just got something. You know, you can't deny what you have inside of you.
You're right. But see, I'm also a firm believer. What is for you, what God has for you is for you. Just like people ask me all the time, what are you going to do now that you left the Rickey Smiley Morning Show? I said the same thing I was doing before. I
Yeah.
left, I'm living. And since I left the Rickey Smiley Morning Show, then now I gained, I'm a co host on Reese Radio Show now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, look, I left and the doors are open wide open for me. So sometimes people don't realize we're holding ourselves back
Mm.
from progressing. So you got to step out on faith and keep going. That's the reason why that's my slogan is always go and reach your dream. Whatever you
Absolutely.
set your mind and do, don't let nobody stop you. If you got to be just as determined as the next person is.
Amen. And you're so much bigger than a show. You know what I'm saying? Like you're so much bigger than just a show. You like you've been blessed in so many areas. And when God talk about your gift making room for you, he don't just talk. He never said that your gift is only going to make room for you in this area or this area. We not like a packaged good in a grocery store. Like we don't just go in the chicken section. We don't just go in the spices section. Like God, when he put that gift in us, that gift is that territory increases all the way around us. So it's no telling where you're going to land next, Ms. Juicy. So Rickey Smiley morning show, plays, directing. I'm looking forward to you directing the play because I'm coming to audition for that. I've been in many productions, but the day I get the audition for a Ms Juicy Babyy production, that's going to change the game.
Well, what people don't know, I'm already getting my hands a little bit now. It's not a play, but I am executive producer on this season of Little Women.
Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. I'm almost 400 pounds, so ain't nothing little about me. So I'm gonna start a show called The Fat People of Maryland, and we're gonna be kicking off. I'm inviting 4 other fat people to come on out. We're gonna start our own show. We're gonna lock ourselves in a grocery store for 3 weeks, and we're gonna put an episode out every other day. Fat People of Maryland coming out soon, and you can executive produce that for us, and help my show to So big people, look out for that show.
Oh my goodness. Y'all look out for it.
Look out for it.
Just trying to inspire people, whatever they set their heart and their mind to. And I really like, even with this season of Little Women, by me stepping up and being not only in front of the camera, but behind the camera as well, as executive producer, it's like, hopefully I can motivate and inspire other women that it's good to have us there in those positions. If you qualify for that position. So don't knock yourself. Don't say that you can't do something when you can.
And that's good right there. Stop this. A lot of times we disqualify ourselves. Like there is no disqualify. Don't disqualify you. Don't ever say you can't. Don't ever say I cannot. Those words should never come out of your mouth. Don't look at how big the situation is in front of you, because God is bigger than even that. So
you better say it.
When you talk about disqualifying yourself, if God already qualified you, there is no such thing as somebody else, man, disqualifying you. There is no disqualifications once God put his hand on it. One thing about God is when God says it, it's done. That's it. Period.
It's done.
Period, poo. It's a done deal.
And be careful what you ask for, because you better be able to be ready to receive those blessings. You ask for it. When God give it to you, be ready to receive it.
Be ready to receive it. And you got to be in position.
Exactly.
Receive it. Make sure you are in a posture to receive, because a lot of times we're like, all right, Lord, I want you to rain down on me. We want you to do this. And God is like, okay, I'm trying to drop it to you. And instead of us having our hands in a surrender spot so we could catch it in our hand, we down here trying to pick something back up that we felt so comfortable with. And God is like, I put you in a posture to receive, but you are in a posture to pick up right now. So how can you get from me to receive if you still picking up? So Juicy,
that's right.
You just had a word right there, girl. You better preach. You better preach. So real quick, before we go, let the people know how they can find you and support everything that you have going on right now.
Well, they can find me. I'm on all social media. Ms Juicy RSMS on Instagram, Ms Juicy J on Twitter, and The Real Ms Juicy Babyy on Facebook. My website is therealmsjuicybaby.com, and they can find me on January 22nd on Lifetime.
January 22nd on Lifetime. Make sure y'all pay your cable bill so you can watch this show, because it's going down January 22nd.
Yes, this Little Women season 6, Little Women Atlanta, is full of everything. It was a very, very hard season for us all, but we got through it. And we're gonna have a kickoff special on the 22nd, and the actual season will start on the 29th. But we're gonna show so much. We're gonna show us all dealing with this pandemic that everybody been dealing with. We're gonna participate in the Black Lives Movement. The tragic loss of our castmate, Miss Minnie.
Yeah, R.I.P. to her. That was I loved her. And I know you guys had a great relationship and great rapport, so condolences.
Yes, we sadly had to face that, the tragic loss of her, and the viewers also gonna get to see how we honored her after her death as well.
Mhm.
So it's the pain, the drama. I mean, this season is full.
It's
It's
full.
full. You're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, you're gonna relate. It's everything. So
That's what I'm talking about, man. I wish you nothing but success, Miss Juicy. You have been a light to the community of entertainers. As a motivational speaker, as an actor, as an activist. Just everything that you do, it just has a glow on it, and I appreciate you so much for allowing God to use you to bring so many smiles to so many people's lives. And I pray nothing but increased territory for you. Everything that you want, everything that's within God's realm to bless you with because of obedience. Now that's the point. That's the part that you do so well. You're obedient, and a lot of people try to get to the blessings, but they scratch out in their little Bible the obedience part because sometimes that part hurt right there. But you have been a living witness of being obedient. So I appreciate you so much for everything you have done, and my TV will be on. I will have my Chipotle ready, and January 22nd, I will be tuned in watching the premiere of Little Women of Atlanta.
yes.
Any last thing you want to say to all your fans, everybody out there that's watching and supporting you?
Well, guys, remember whatever you want to do in life, you can do it. Don't let anybody that scares you or stop you. Just continue to do it. I feel like I'm a living witness because I do it every day. I prove them wrong. Sometimes I do things that I don't want to do, but I do it just to prove them wrong. But I love you guys. Continue to support. And hey, new things coming from Ms Juicy also. So be on the lookout.
Hey man,
Oh,
all
and
right,
I
Miss.
also got a movie coming out.
Oh
Uh,
really? What? Talk
I'm
to
not
me.
gonna really. It's an acting deal. I really can't talk too much about it. But
Okay,
guess what?
okay.
It's on Lifetime, guys.
That's what
So
I'm.
you get to see Miss Juicy acting skills.
Oh, we can. I can't wait. That's going to be amazing. I'm looking forward to that. So hopefully, once that kick off, we get all that information. We're gonna make sure we all tuned in and have a watch party. Cause
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
that's about to be lit. Oh yeah, I can't wait for that. I
it's gonna
appreciate
be
that.
lit. It's definitely gonna be lit.
All right, cool beans, man. Well, you have a blessed rest of the day. We appreciate you joining us, taking time out your busy schedule to tap into the Chris
Hey,
Dillard Experience, and we'll definitely be talking soon.
thank you so much, guys. Love you.
Yes, ma'am. Goodbye, Juicy.
Bye.
Everybody, y'all know my homegirl, Ms Juicy Babyy, always bringing the real. So we